This month we have a bunch of major titles and day one releases to tell you about, so wasting no time, let's get into it. On October 15th, we've got a trio of Game Pass games which will be made available to premium members. First up, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black will give players the perfect place to hone the ninja skills that are sure to come in extremely handy a week later. Next up, Eternal Strands is a third-person adventure that lets you wield elemental powers in all sorts of cool ways, one of the few situations where you should actually play with fire. And finally, for PC gamers, they can get to grips with the roguelike auto-battler He Is Coming, where they're tasked with taking down the Demon King himself. So, you know what they say, come for the Demon King, best not demon miss. Now, let's move on to the new games joining the Game Pass library in the next week or two. Being a shopkeeper is not easy. All you need to do is ask Apu for his view on that. But Game Pass members can now try their hand at it thanks to Supermarket Simulator. It's available now on Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC, and this first-person sim lets you get hands-on with every single aspect of your store. You find good supplies and keep your shelves stocked, tinker with the layout to make things as efficient as possible, and do whatever it takes to keep your customers happy, even if that means personally delivering items to their home. And of course, you'll have to deal with shoplifters by relying on sophisticated anti-theft techniques like chasing them down the street with a baseball bat and bonking them on the head. From October 9th, PC players can hop on down into the dungeons of Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Editions. These isometric RPGs are pure old-school gaming goodness. You can create your own character and set off on a quest through a fantastical world where you'll encounter heroes, villains, and some folk who are just plain weird. And yes, I'm talking about you, Jan Jansen. The Enhanced Editions take these classics and spruce them up in every conceivable way, and then chuck in a bunch of extra content just for the fun of it, like a battle arena called the Black Pits. Bringing together the masters of interactive horror and the lore of Dead by Daylight, the casting of Frank Stone is like a Freddy vs. Jason of horror gaming. Only you know it's better. The creators of the Dark Pictures anthology and The Quarry have whipped up another tale of chills, thrills, and fresh-faced characters just waiting to get got. This time around, you'll be controlling the crew of filmmakers who wander into the middle of a real-life horror film. How many of them get to wander back out again will depend on the choices that you make along the way. It's a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building, survival roguelike game. That's right, a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building, survival roguelike game. In fact, Ball X Pit might be the only game in that incredibly specific subgenre, which has you conjuring powerful balls and then pinging them at your foes before snapping up all of the resources they drop to invest in your base. It's an ingenious blend of styles we never would have thought about putting together, and it is coming day one to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass on October 15th. Look, if you're one of those people that are like, just get this Halloween nonsense out of the way, it's Christmas time, baby, then you'll be delighted to learn that The Grinch Christmas Adventures is coming to Game Pass Premium, PC, and Ultimate on October 15th, which is ironic because he hated Christmas and that was like his whole thing. Regardless, Christmas Adventures is a festive platformer where you get to sneak around Whoville, stealing presents and pelting people with snowballs. You can even tag in a second player to play as the Grinch's faithful dog, Max, making this an ideal pick for some, albeit slightly early, festive family fun. And while we're on the subject, what's your favourite game to play together over the holidays? Hit us in the comments, let us know, we might feature it in a future video. On October 16th, PC players can start finding their place within the vast fantasy world of PAX Day. This massively multiplayer social sandbox features a rich fantasy world where everything is harvested, crafted, cooked, and built by the players themselves. That means there's always loads of work to be done and a nearly infinite variety of ways that you can play your part. You can adventure out in search of valuables, do some farming, sell your wares at the market, pool resources to form new villages, or ask for a little godly help by earning grace and trading it in for mystical boons. This game is ultimately about cooperation, community, and the beauty of working together, and it does also feature PvP if you meet someone who's in need of a good macing. Now, this is one that I have been so excited for, and when you are ready to get weird, you normally turn to Double Fine, and their new game definitely looks like it will be living up to that billing, definitely. It's arriving day one on October 17th, and Keeper is a truly puzzling puzzle adventure where you play as a sentient lighthouse who embarks on a great adventure along with their good friend who is a bird. And honestly, the whole thing just seems to get stranger from there. But from what we've seen so far, it's pretty clear that the studio that brought you Psychonauts have conjured another beautifully bizarre world for us to explore, and we can't wait to shed some more light on it when Keeper arrives later this month. In Evil West, you'll journey to a version of the American frontier that contains bloodthirsty monsters of every description, as well as hardened gunslingers like the guy you'll be playing as. And well, you know, this town ain't big enough for the both of you. And it is coming to Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC on October 21st. And Evil West is an extremely stylish, gleefully over-the-top actioner where you get to wield classic cowboy weapons like six-shooters, along with the slightly less traditional ones like a lightning-powered gauntlet. There's loads of different monsters to fight, a whole weird western world to learn about, and the option to do it all in two-player online co-op. Last up, Rai Hayabusa is back and he's brought a buddy along. Ninja Gaiden 4 promises another formidable action experience as players get to grips with a bloodbending new hero called Yakumo and take on a whole army of deadly new enemies. The Ninja Gaiden games have always been renowned for their difficulty, and the fourth one is guaranteed to live up to that reputation. Trust me, I've seen what this thing is like from the Master Ninja mode from the Xbox Tokyo Game Show broadcast, and it also features some much more accessible levels as well as an all-new training mode that you can hop into at any time to perfect those combos before you jump back into the fray. It's a Ninja Gaiden game for experts and the every ninjas, and it is coming day one to Game Pass Ultimate on October 21st. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to Xbox On to catch all the latest Xbox news, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!